I've been preparing for my PhD next year. So I have spent over 10 plus years in the industry working in diverse roles. I have been a marketer, I have been a community lead, I have been a founder myself, and I have played different roles in the industry. I have learned a lot of skills, and now I have decided to move to academia to further explore my interest in understanding the brain and mind. And in this journey, I have been exploring different subjects. I have been learning the anatomy of brain. I have been learning Python, been reading research papers, and through one of the research papers that I found this very interesting topic. I was just really fascinated by this topic, which is DMN. And in this video, I'm going to talk more about DMN. This video is not an expert advice. This is more like a vlog, sharing my journey, sharing what I'm learning every day. And if you would like to follow along my journey and see how I'm doing, please subscribe to the channel, please like this video, and let's start the journey of understanding our brain. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're gonna talk about default mode network or DMN. Alright, so let's first understand what is DMN or default mode network. As the name suggests, default mode network is that part of the brain that gets activated when you are at rest. So now you must already know that your brain is always working, even when you're sleeping, even when you are at rest. Now, when you are at rest, which means when you're doing nothing, when you are lying on your bed and doing nothing, when you are in the auto or in a car going from one place to another, driving, but you must have observed there is a movie playing in your head all the time. You must have observed that your brain is thinking either about your past or from your future, or maybe about your self-image or how you're perceived in front of your colleagues or people around you. Now, this part of the brain that gets activated when you are doing nothing is called default mode network. Before we move further into this, let's understand what is a network. Now, the network is basically the regions of the brain that gets activated to do certain things. And there are many networks which we are not going to go in this video. We are just gonna stick to DMN. Now, to help you understand DMN, let's think about certain scenarios. Have you caught yourself thinking about your ex-girlfriend when you are literally doing nothing? Or have you caught yourself thinking about something that happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago? When you are cooking, for example, or when you are driving, or when you are just sitting looking outside the window. This part of the brain that plays all these memories is called default mode network. Now, if I ask you to do nothing for the next 1 minute, just 1 minute, just sit there quietly, would you be able to do it without a single thought in your mind? I guess we all know the answer for this. If I ask you to meditate for the next 30 minutes, you can find yourself, you can observe yourself thinking about 1,000 different thoughts. And this is the part of the brain which is called default mode network. Now let's go one step further and let's understand what type of memories default mode network plays. One of the memory is called episodic memories. Episodic memories are the memories which are from your personal experiences, and obviously they're going to be different for each and every brain in different human beings. The next type of memory that gets played in your default mode network is called semantic memory. Semantic memory is the memory which is about facts and knowledge, while episodic is more personal, semantic is universal. The third type of memory that gets played in your DMN is prospective memory about the future events based on your past experiences. Interesting, right? Let me give you an example. You went to an event, somebody said something bad to you, or something somebody spoiled your mood. Now you weren't able to answer him back at that event. You come back. The entire car ride home, you were thinking about how you would reply to that person next time you meet him, or uh, even after 10 days, sometimes you go back to that memory and you're like, crushing that person. You are replying left and right to that person. And this is the prospective memory that I'm talking about. And this is your DMN playing you. Now, there's one another interesting fact about DMN. The DMN activity in adults is much higher, is in fact gets higher and higher as we age. The children's DMN network is not very well developed, and this is why you can remember when you were kids, you were so much in the present moment. Your mind wasn't wandering to all the places. I mean, yes, it was wandering, but to the nature and the things around, but not by like your past memories or the future memories. Let me tell you one another interesting fact. Meditation helps you control the activity in the DMN. Now, as you meditate, the DMN activity gets lower and lower, and prefrontal cortex activity get higher and higher, which means DMN activity is inversely proportional to the activity in the prefrontal cortex. Now, the prefrontal cortex is that part of the brain which is responsible for your focused work. For example, you are mountaineering, you are hiking. Now you need all your focus on that particular job, moving one hand after another. This is where your prefrontal cortex is super active, and DMN, there's no activity or like very less activity in the DMN part of the brain. So when you meditate, you become more focused, and your DMN activity gets diminished. Now let me share you a personal experience here. I was so excited to share this knowledge with you all. In 2018, okay, let me go back a little. In 2016, on my 25th birthday, or like 26th birthday, I actually went to attend a 10-day Vipassana session, which is a silent retreat where you meditate for 10 days. You do not have your phones, and you are confined into this retreat center. You're not allowed to speak, and you don't speak for 10 days. So this was my birthday gift for me when I turned 26. It was a very surreal experience, because the first 3 days I wanted to run away from there, but they don't allow you to run away unless there is an emergency. So I really wanted to run away from there. I was like, no, Vibhuti, just one more day, just stick here one more day. But on the 4th day, they taught Vipassana meditation. For the first 3 days, they were teaching Anapana, which is just focusing on your breath, and it was so difficult for me to focus on my breath. I just wanted to run away from that center. So 4th day, they taught Vipassana meditation, and it just clicked. I started loving the meditation experience, and on the 7th day or 6th day, I actually felt this state of thoughtlessness, bodilessness. I felt complete loss of self. This was an amazing experience, but after this 10 day, after I came back from here, I never did Vipassana until in 2018, when I was going through a deep phase of depression. I was so much into depression that all the thoughts that were there in my mind were of self-harm, self-critique. I thought there is no way around and nobody can save me. So I started meditation. I started with Vipassana meditation, but I was not able to do Vipassana because I couldn't sit for 30 seconds without my mind telling me how big a failure I am or how screwed up I am. So I started with guided meditation, and slowly I reached to a state when I was able to do Vipassana, and then slowly I reached a state where I was just sitting in this Vipassana meditation more than an hour. Now here a magic happened in this entire process. The mind, which was telling me that how big a failure I am, that never shut up, that would tell me all the self-critic thought, they were all gone. And they were not just gone. There was no activity in my brain when I was doing nothing. When I was just sitting outside, having a cup of coffee, watching the sunset, I was just watching the sunset, and there were no thoughts, which was not possible for the brain that I had before. This 3 months of meditation completely changed my mind. Now, I have always been fascinated by brain, but I never thought that I would explore it through scientific tools. I always tried to explore it through spiritual tools, and I am a scientist at heart. I have always, when I find a fact, I don't accept it. I am a skeptic. I actually question it. I do experiments, and I do experiments with myself all the time. I have been doing it in my entire 20s. I have been doing it when I was a teenager. I have been doing it when I was even like a kid, like 9, 10 years old. So, why I'm telling you this experience, because it is related to DMN. Because once I read about the DMN and I was reading these research papers and I found more and more facts, and I learned that that thing that happened when I was deep down in depression in 2018, my DMN activity diminished and my prefrontal activity was more. And here I somehow transformed my mind. Like, I have no idea how, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna explore it further and further as I go deep into this rabbit hole. But I was just super excited to share this amazing thing with you about DMN. So DMN is also responsible for forming your self-image. Like, there are these thoughts that are continuously being repeated in your head. So what is self-image? Self-image is nothing but the thousand and millions of thoughts that have been repeated in your mind. So let me explain. Think of yourself as an observer and think of thoughts like these passing clouds or a blockchain, a chain of blocks passing. The blocks that you are giving attention to, every time the same block goes, you give attention to the same block and you strengthen that neural pathway. You are strengthening that block of information. So this block of information, the more attention you give to, for example, there's this block of information, and in this block there is this thought that you are a nobody. Every time this thought passes, you give attention to it again, you give attention to it again, you give attention to it again. You're strengthening this neural pathway. Now you have given attention to this thought so many times that it has now gone to the subconscious part of the brain, and now it's being autoplayed, it's on autoplay all the time without you even trying. So I've been experimenting this since last 6 months. So I started actively looking at my thoughts. I started observing my thoughts, that what kind of thoughts goes on in my mind. And whenever I saw some negative thought going on, I stopped giving attention to it and I replaced it with something else. Now I did this thing, I repeated this thing so many times that even in my DMN, not a single time the negative thought comes in that I am not capable enough, that I won't be able to do this. Now it took me some time. Let me be honest, I'm still not there yet. I think it will take me not just some time, it will take me a lot of time to be there where I can say outright in front of you that I'm free of this. But I'm a work in progress, and I would love to share my journey as I'm experimenting with my life and with myself, and I'm gonna share that journey with you all. So yeah, coming back. So this is how self-image is formed in the DMN, in the brain, and you can break it by being actively conscious of what thoughts you're giving attention to. Because the more number of times a thought is repeated, the more its neural pathways gets hardened, and it gets to the DMN, which is working when you are at rest. Alright, so I think this was a very good video, and this is more like as I said, this is more like a vlog, and this is not like an expert advice. I'm learning, and I'm this new journey of learning neuroscience, exploring neuroscience, understanding our brain further. And as I do this, I would love to have you all on this journey with me. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Alright, see you in the next video. Bye bye.